Trujillo, a fine art painter. I'm coming to you here from my art studio with one more of my thoughts and my I guess little advices that I give to other creative types and art collectors. This one is a continuation of the last one about aiming high. And what I said in the last one is you want to aim as high as you can so that when you land anywhere, it's going to be a good place. You don't want to aim low, and not just in your thoughts. I know you can go watch that video, but through your actions and not just imagining. Okay, that I want to get there, but start looking what actions can I take to get there. Okay, it's gonna shift your mindset from hoping something happens to making something happen. Okay, remember what Oprah said. I think. Success, I think, is preparation meeting opportunity. So there you go. Thank you, Oprah. So here's this one. Whether you go high or low, you're still going to be crazy. You're going to be criticized. Everybody's going to say, "What's wrong with you? Why are you having those crazy ideas of getting yourself in the Met? If you're a musician, I don't know. Why do you have those crazy ideas of playing next to Robert Plant or whatever, whatever type of music you do, or produce music with Phil Collins for Disney or whatever? You're already off the rocker, according to people. Why do you have those ideas? This is so crazy. You're only hurting yourself. You're not going to reach those. They try to tell you this stuff. Friends, family, and just random citizens. If you pay attention, you shouldn't pay attention. And I know that sometimes it hurts. You have to clear eyes, full heart, like they say, but if you aim low, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, you're sloth. You don't do anything. You're just wasting your life away. They want you somewhere in the middle, somewhere nice, somewhere they can be okay with. Your critics, just let's call them your critics. It's so funny because an artist has critics before he's famous. Isn't that a cool thing? But you want to be able to not listen to that. Just cover your ears or handle the people if you can. If you have the courage, handle them and tell them, you know what? Right now, I need to hear. If it's your friends, family, if you can handle them, tell them, I need to hear positive things from you. This is my goal. This is where I'm going. I need to hear positive things. If you can't do that, please just keep it to yourself. Stay quiet, okay? Because otherwise, we can't have a good relationship if every time I'm trying to do this, you're going to step on it just because, they say different things. They say, I'm afraid for you. I don't want to see you get hurt. It's because they've given up on their own dreams. When people talk like that, it's because they've given up on their own dreams. Or you're only going to hurt yourself. You aim so high, you're obsessed by it. Guess what? No one reaches anything. No one achieves anything in life unless they're obsessed by it. Unless it consumes their thought all day. And many of us, we're obsessed by it, but we don't start moving, Many times we're obsessed by it. That's another video that I did. I don't want to confuse you, but we start thinking, oh yes, I want to get to the Met, or I want to be this great musician and play next to, I don't know, U2 or whatever music you prefer, whatever type of musician, compose lyrics for Taylor Swift or whatever, I don't know, something like that, something big, something massive, no? And many of us, what we do is that we think like that. We're obsessed by it, but we never get to move. We're shamed by ourselves and by others to thinking that's a bad. It's just there's no way because we're trying to reason our way there. And if you try to reason your way there, you're gonna give up before you even try. You're just gonna give up because you can't. It's like trying to imagine yourself. Let's say you're gonna take a trip. I don't know, from LA to Miami or whatever, and you imagine yourself. What the road is going to be like, you don't do that. You can only see like 200 feet ahead of you. You know, and if you're like me, you probably, I don't know, you probably see less. I don't know. I got some good glasses now, but you know, you can't imagine every scenario. Yes, you want to prepare. You want to be like, okay, I'm going to prepare. But you can't imagine every scenario, every little turn, how am I going to do this? You're going to get lost. You're going to give up. You can't do that. All you got to do is just get in the car and start driving. You know, that's the only thing you can do. And with your career, with your dreams, it's the same thing. Of course you want to prepare. You want to put a spare tire in there. Of course you want to put, you know, you want to take some cash. You want to do this, you know, let's say I'm talking about the trip, right? Of course you want to do that. Yes, you want to prepare that way. But you cannot prepare for every twist and turn in the road. You just can't do that. You're going to give up. It's the same thing with a career. You know, you start thinking about, well, what if that person says this? What if that person says that? What if I get rejected in that gallery? Then try 10 other more or 100 more. You know, you can't paralyze by trying to fix every situation before you even encounter it. You know, it's ludicrous. It's like you're a little kid and saying, well, what am I going to do when I become a teen? Well, you figure it out when you become a teen. Or you're not a father yet. Of course, you have those things. You know, you're not a father yet, and you're like, well, I'm going to be a father. What am I going to do? You're going to figure out, all of us that are fathers now, look back and say, that was crazy, you know, why I was so worried. You know what to do. Instinctually, you start figuring out. And if you don't, you start asking. But instinctually, you know what to do. You know how to take care of your own. And anyways, I don't want to get off of subject so much, but that's the message, you know. Aim high. Let me remember the message. Sometimes I'll go aim high, because whether you aim high or low, you're going to be criticized. So it shouldn't matter. Just go for it. Okay. My name's Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art painter. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.